News Radio Wham 1180 welcomes you to The Seniors Rock Show. The Seniors Rock Show, a lively weekly discussion shedding a bright light on aging with fun, entertainment, and important info for all adults. Join us with your comments or questions. Call or text 222-1180 or 1-800-295-1180. Now, from the News Radio Wham 1180 studios in downtown Rochester, here's your host, Joanna Palvino.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the only show on radio or TV in this entire area dedicated to healthy aging and having fun while we're doing it. It's a cool combination, and we're really pretty cool here. And by we, I mean my co-host, estate planning attorney Mike Robinson, and today's studio producer, Scott Fitzgerald, better known as Fitz. We're here in the Rock Vox recording studio and on board for a great Memorial Day show ahead. So speaking of on board, one of our cool guests today is Melissa Peterson, the Group Travel Operations Manager for AAA. She plans trips, and I mean from start to finish, so travelers can enjoy an effortless vacation. I have done it myself, and I'm telling you now, she promises to tell us some really cool, not-to-miss tours, so stay tuned for that. Also not to miss is our other guest today, our favorite Medicare specialist from Benefit Reps of America. Her name is LINDSAY Penrose, and Lindsay's here to talk today about the transition to Medicare. Lindsay's strength is in her knowledge of her craft and of the options available, and there's lots of them. So I'm sure you know that already, but I'm telling you, she will help you. And before we get to that, though, I'd like to say hey to Mike, my co-host and the best estate planning attorney this side of the Mississippi. Hello there, Mr. Mike Robinson. How you doing?
Very well, Joanna. Happy Saturday and happy Memorial Day weekend. And if you need a referral to an estate planning attorney west of the Mississippi, let me know. I can help you out there, too.
Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah, what are you thinking about this Memorial Day?
Well, it is Memorial Day, and, I like history, so I thought it'd be fun to talk a little bit about the history of Memorial Day. And originally it was known as Decoration Day. Because it did originate with the practice of decorating the graves of Civil War soldiers with flowers. And it started in the North, but it quickly moved to the South as well. And it was the first national observance was on May 30th of 1868. And that was when James Garfield, he wasn't president yet, he was a congressman from Ohio, but he gave a speech at Arlington National Cemetery honoring fallen Civil War soldiers. And over time, unfortunately, soldiers died in other wars as well. And so the practice of decorating graves continued on, but then people started to refer to the holiday as Memorial Day, although it wasn't officially designated as Memorial Day until much later. But interestingly, states began recognizing Memorial Day starting with New York. We were the first state to do so in 1873. By 1890, every state in the North had done so. And as I mentioned, it gradually spread throughout the South as well. And again, because wars didn't end with our Civil War, the practice of decorating the graves spread to all soldiers who had died in service to their country. And as early as 1882, it began to be referred to as Memorial Day to recognize that it wasn't just Civil War soldiers anymore. And I can remember when I was a kid, my grandfather called it Decoration Day. And that's how we knew it in our
cool.
family.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. And so even though it had, especially after the World Wars, more and more was being called Memorial Day, he still referred to it as Decoration Day. And it wasn't actually until 1967 that Congress passed a law officially naming the holiday Memorial Day. You might know that, and again, I can remember this as a kid also, it was always May 30th. That was Memorial Day, regardless of what day of the week it fell on. But beginning in 1971, it was moved to the last Monday in May. And I think everyone in our area knows that Waterloo New York is considered the birthplace of Memorial Day. In fact, in 1966, President Lyndon Johnson made an official proclamation designating Waterloo as the birthplace of Memorial Day.
I did not know that. Again, a font of knowledge.
A little bit of history there, and I have all kinds of memories of Memorial Day. My grandparents had a cottage on the St. Lawrence River in Cape Vincent, and Memorial Day weekend was always the weekend that we opened the cottage, and it would be chilly up there. We had to get into the water and put the water lines out for the summer. But we always went to the parade, and I think my parents have pictures of me riding my bicycle in the Cape Vincent Memorial Day Parade.
With a little flag, no doubt.
No doubt. And then in Naples, where I lived for many, many years, Naples, New York, we have a Memorial Day Parade, and all of my kids were in the marching band, so
nice.
And scouts and different things, so we were always there watching somebody marching down the street.
Very Americana. I'm sitting here thinking Scott Fitzgerald Fitz over there is also a big history buff, and I'm wondering if he has any memories of Memorial Day.
Yeah, Joanna. I was raised in South Florida, but my earliest memory goes back to when I was a wee little Fitz on Long Island, in Massapequa, Long Island. And I remember the Memorial Day Parade. I'm assuming I was around 4. I'm thinking 4 or 5-ish, but I just remember the parade, and I remember all the men in uniform. And my father, who was a Marine in his younger days, was telling me all about Memorial Day, and that's like my earliest memory. One of my earliest memories ever is a Memorial Day memory.
I love it. I remember taking my girls to the parade. I love parades. I don't recall when I was younger going, but I certainly enjoy taking the kids now and the grandkids. So all great memories, Mike. Thank you for bringing those things up.
Yeah, fun stuff. And, it is a serious day. I mean, we do have fun. It's the traditional start of the summer season for us, and lots of picnics and things like that. But it is a serious time, and I always like to take the time to reflect on what it means and the people that made the ultimate sacrifice and their families as well, maybe even more so.
Very true. And it's so important to remember these folks and never forget, as they say. So is there anything else you wanted to say before we go?
No, I think that's it. I'm looking forward to hearing from our next guests.
Yeah, me too. And I'll tell you, LINDSAY PENROSE is like a Medicare magician as far as I'm concerned. She wades through all the stuff that I don't understand, and she lays it out so I can make sense of it. That's why I work with her. Stay tuned. You're going to hear her all about it on Medicare with LINDSAY PENROSE coming up next.
And welcome back. You're listening to Seniors Rock Radio, and we're joined now by LINDSAY PENROSE, a certified Medicare specialist who's licensed with all major insurance companies here in the Rochester area. LINDSAY assists clients to get set up strategically with their Medicare insurance benefits. And she's here today representing Benefit Representatives of America, a local family business right on West Ridge Road. LINDSAY's well-versed on her topic today, the transition to Medicare, understanding all of your options. And I'm anxious to hear that too. Welcome back, LINDSAY PENROSE.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for having me back.
Well, and hi to me too. Joanna's here.
Hi, Joanna.
Hi, LINDSAY. Great to have you here again. And I am going to start the questions. So, first one is, why is it important? I know, but tell the folks why it's important to get a plan into place before turning 65.
Well, before you turn 65, you should really start thinking about the Medicare landscape and getting ideas for what it will look like. So at this point, getting a general idea of Medicare coverage is important, and becoming educated on the basic concepts of Medicare will eventually help you understand the more complex options that are to come in the future.
Okay, I know there's lots of these, but tell the folks what options they have once they do become Medicare eligible.
Well, Part A and Part B are what make up original Medicare. Beyond that, you really have 2 choices when it comes to your coverage. These are Medicare Advantage plans, also referred to as Part C, or Medicare supplement plans, also referred to as Medigap. Just knowing that these terms and these coverages exist can help you as you see a growing number of Medicare advertisements and you hear people talking about it in your life.
Oh, yeah. We hear a lot about it when it comes to enrollment time. Now, how do you advise someone on the decisions they have to make with all these different things, all these different Medicare options and all the information that gets shot at you?
Well, everyone has their own unique situation for Medicare, and with the help of an insurance broker like myself, I can find that specific insurance company that will have your medical providers and hospitals in network. Depending on the medical and financial situation, there are different plans to fit these situations. On top of all of this, these options there are also financial assistance programs that can be beneficial that one might not know about if they tried to do it on their own.
So I was just going to say, with all of that, with all of those options, clearly there's a benefit to working with a broker rather than trying to figure that out on your own.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, programs like Extra Help and Low Income are also called Low Income Subsidy that assists with prescription costs and premiums of policies. And if you try to do it on your own and you don't even know these policies exist, you could be missing out on some assistance that you could qualify for.
Sure. And you were saying that you coordinate with like what people's existing needs are. You check out their medications and what types of doctors they're treating with, because all of that plays into the decision, correct, of what's the right policy.
Absolutely. The different plans can fit everyone differently because certain plans are only accepted by certain doctors, and also some plans may not include the medications that you're taking currently. But as time goes on and your doctors may change, your prescriptions may change, I can help you evolve and find that new policy that would fit you best at that time.
Perfect. And Lindsay, how much do your services cost?
So the nice part about my services is there's actually no charge. Medicare clients never pay me a penny. I'm covered by the insurance companies. So if you give me the information for your medical and your financial situation, I will get you all set up on what fits you best, and I'll do all that research for you.
Fantastic.
And I'm here to tell you that I'm a client of Lindsay's and Benefit Reps of America. And if you're just tuning in, this is Lindsay Penrose. She is a Medicare specialist, and I have worked with her, and she has saved me money. She has saved me time, and she knows what she's talking about. I'm here to tell you because I had changed and I had gotten into Medicare a program, and she looked it over and she said, this is good, but let's change it at this point. And at that point, I had used what I needed to use in the original one, and she moved me when I should have moved in, so that I could take advantage of some other things that I would have never thought about until Lindsay told me. So thank you for that.
Of course. And, Joanna, with the annual enrollment period coming up, it'll be here in October before we know it. Yeah. The policies are going to be changing. They'll be coming out with new ones. So we'll have to set up an appointment to get a review for you for the year of 2025 to make sure you're good to go then.
Yep. And she's proactive, folks. How many people in the service area do you have calling you or texting you or emailing you to say, hey, let's talk. I see something here that you might be able to benefit from. That's what they do. It's pretty incredible. Yeah,
it's pretty great that we've had quite a bit of clients that have been calling in recently, especially listeners from the radio show. We had to hire more staff for our team to fulfill these needs. So as we grow, we just get stronger. We're able to help more people. And as the annual enrollment period approaches, we're just going to get busier. So it's better to call now, get stuff set up, so you'll be good to go each year. Mm-hmm.
That's great to hear. Thank you for saying that you're getting folks calling in. Listeners, thank you for reaching out to our sponsors, to Benefit Reps of America, and to our other sponsors, because you can find them all on the website. I say that all the time, and I do know that they are reaching out and helping each other. We're all helping each other in this world, so it's great. Thank you, Lindsay. Is there anything else that you wanted to mention? I mean, open enrollment, don't wish our summer away, but it will be here soon in October, as you said. What are things people might do, to prep before they meet with you?
Well, meeting with their doctors, getting their medication straightened out. Maybe they're having some issues with an expensive medication that they need to have that re-looked at. There are expensive brand name drugs out there, and maybe a generic might cover you better. So figuring out that medical stuff with your doctor can help me prepare you better for your policy to help drive down the costs, because I'd hate to put you on an expensive prescription through a policy if there was something that your doctor could figure out that would cover you and it would cost less money. So any little thing that you can do to stay healthy and save some money, I can meet you on the other end there with the insurance policies.
That's terrific. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're with Lindsay Penrose, Benefit Reps of America. They're right on Westridge Road in Rochester, and it's right next to the still open Red Lobster.
Yeah,
in Greece.
I think it's the only Red Lobster open now in Rochester, right next door to it. So come visit us. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. You can stop right in and we'll get you all set up.
Yeah, and they have a very easy number to remember. It's 585-663-6333. Tell them again.
585-663-6333.
Lindsay, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Joanna.
Thanks for coming in. Hey, folks, if you're dreaming about a vacation, please stay tuned after the break for some exciting travel options from expert Melissa Peterson of AAA. Next on the Seniors Rock Radio Show and News Radio Wham 1180.
Welcome back. Mike, I don't know about you, but I could use a vacation. And after talking to our next guest, I'm ready to do it. Melissa Peterson is the Group Travel Operations Manager for AAA of Western and Central New York. And she's here to share her knowledge of the many, many products and services offered by AAA's group travel. You might really be surprised at all of them. And with over 17 years with AAA and trips around the world, Melissa's current role and true passion is managing AAA group travel. That's what she's told us. So together with her team, she develops and plans from start to finish tours, including motor coach tours, cruise tours, and domestic and international land tours. So lots and lots of great trips that we're going to hear about. And the beauty of these planned trips, folks, is that you can get a real break, an effortless vacation, if you will. And I'm talking about time to just enjoy creating memories with your friends and family. I've experienced this amazing service myself with my daughters. We went to Scotland several years ago, and all we had to do was show up and enjoy. We didn't have to carry our bags. It was fabulous. Anyway, welcome to Seniors Rock, Melissa Peterson. I'm going to stop talking and let you tell us about these tours coming up. It's so great to have you here.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to talk about our tours and all of our services that we offer.
Wonderful.
And we're excited to hear about it, Melissa. So let's start with that. What services are included with the AAA group travel tours?
So like you said, everything is planned from start to finish. So our creators, our developers plan the trips to include all of the accommodations, the meals, the attractions, right down to, scheduling the motor coach. We have tour hosts that travel along with all of the trips so that really the travelers get on board and just follow the crowd and follow the path and, just enjoy their trip. We make sure to stay at, 4 or 5-star hotels. We have, great meals with lots of inclusions, timed entry for the attractions. So really, like you said, it's an effortless vacation for our travelers.
Yeah, sounds great. And there's something interesting. Tell me about the Solo Travelers Club.
Right. So our Solo Travelers Club was developed about 12 years ago, and it was developed to give individual travelers, so travelers that may be widowed or have, a spouse or companion that doesn't enjoy traveling, the opportunity to meet and travel with people of the same interests. And this club, it's a club, a membership club. About 1,000 people are part of this club right now.
Wow.
And we have meetings, 3 or 4 meetings a year to get together together. Some snacks are served, and then we talk about our different trips, and the travelers get to meet each other. So they may find people to travel with, maybe have a roommate, or just, know when they travel, they'll have people that they know. There's also exclusive trips for members of the Solo Travelers Club, some day trips or overnight trips. We actually have a Bermuda cruise going out in 2 weeks. That's a Solo Travelers Club exclusive. So a really great opportunity for travelers.
Wow, I'm getting excited again. I really would like to go on a vacation. So thanks, Melissa. You're really getting me psyched. But let's get down here, okay? Tell us about the upcoming not to miss tours.
Oh, how much time
The
do I
secret
have?
Stuff. Come on, give it to us.
We have a lot of great opportunities coming up. So, summer, we have some great tours to New England, a great tour out to Boston and Salem area to see all of the historical areas of Boston and, some of the witch museums and learn
Salem.
about the trials in Salem. In the fall, we have some great Canada, New England cruises. And the beauty of the cruises are they're no fly. So we load motor coaches right in Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, drive right to the port. So you don't have to park and walk a long way to get to the ship. We drop you off right at the pier and then cruise. So either to Canada, New England, or Bermuda this fall. Lots of those opportunities. And for the holiday time, we have some great motor coach trips, a trip to Branson. We also have a couple of different New York City trips to, experience the Rockette shows, the sights, sounds, the Christmas tree, all of that nice stuff. In New York, and then a couple of land tours. Iceland to dip your toes into the Blue Lagoon, or Italy for the Jubilee year. So you can pass through the doors of the Vatican, and it's supposed to have healing natures. And then in January, a great tour to explore Costa Rica, and just all of the ecosystems there.
Wow, there are a lot to choose from, and I love all the different options. And I also think some of my friends, not me in particular, but I do know a few people who would love this no-fly thing because they don't want to fly.
Right.
So there are options, folks. Don't think you have to, pick up and get to the airport. There are ways to do it. So I have another question.
Yes.
Melissa, do you offer tours for families, like for groups like that?
We do. So we have we talked about the Solo Travelers Club. We also have AAA travel with kids. And we offer trips that are designed for families with children 5 years of age or older. And these, a little bit slower pace, meals that are geared toward children, attractions geared toward children. So we have a great one coming up this summer at the end of June to Hershey and Lancaster, so they can witness, the Amish fields and some of, the farming that goes on, but also a visit to Hershey Park.
So there's chocolate in there somewhere.
And there is lots of chocolate in there. In the fall, we have a long weekend trip to Cooperstown, to the Baseball Hall of Fame and Apple Orchard, just time to connect with families. And then we do have a trip over the February break, a no-fly cruise. Nice. So take that motor coach to Bayonne, New Jersey, and then it's an eight-night cruise. So really effortless and seamless for families. And these are great opportunities for multi-generational travel as well, and we're finding that, grandparents, parents, and children are all traveling together and making memories.
Well,
so
that
great
trip
opportunities.
To Scotland, I was going to say the trip to Scotland, I went with my two daughters, and one of them was pregnant for my granddaughter, and she's 19 now.
So you have 3 generations.
There you have it. She was 4 months pregnant for Ella. And so I wanted to say this, it really make it clear when they say effortless, they mean effortless, because I remember we went to beautiful hotels. We went to a manor house in North Scotland. Everyone was a surprise. Everyone got better than the next. We went to a woolen mill. We went to a Scotch mill or Scotch, brewery, and we learned so much. We would have never been able to do all of the things we did without the guidance of AAA and having that person help us before we left, give us all those triptychs and all the things that we needed to do, get on a bus, and all we had to do was get off and on, and they took care of our luggage. We had haggis in Edinburgh.
Yep.
I can't even tell you. And I said to my one daughter didn't want to go on a trip like that. She wanted to go in our own car. And I said, no way. But we met people from all over the world. When we got home, the day we got home, there was a thank you card from the woman from AAA. So it was so buttoned up. I can't tell you, folks. Listen, when we tell you, this is a great way to go. So thank you, Melissa. Is there anything else you want to say before we have to go?
I don't think so. I think I had the opportunity to say everything, but
Right.
travel, make the memories.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about.
It's a big world out there.
It is.
Thank you so much. How can folks learn more?
So AAA.com/groups will lead them to all of our trips, the ones we talked about, and many more. Or they can call a AAA travel advisor at 1-800-937-1222.
Excellent. Thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome. It was a blast.
You got it. Thank you for joining us, Melissa. Great info. And folks, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Seniors Rock Radio and to a show that we've been enjoying, talking about Memorial Day. We've talked about traveling. We've talked about Medicare. And now I want to talk about clean air, because isn't it interesting how the simplest of things can be so important, Mike? Like breathing clean air. I'm so happy we've had our air ducts cleaned by indoor air professionals. The air is fresher and my seasonal allergies have been booted out, and they're really better. In the morning, I'm not, sneezing and running and grabbing Kleenex all morning. So that's just after one duct cleaning by indoor air professionals. I love having not to dust as much. I say that all the time. Cleaner and air wherever you are, guess what? Is just a phone call away. And you can save big today with $160 off air duct cleaning. And Peter Gordon is there waiting to take your call. He is with the Western New York's #1 duct cleaning experts. In fact, they're nationwide because they service the Navy. Our friend Peter is at Indoor Air Pros today. He's waiting for you to call to give you these great savings. So do it now. It's on sale today. Clean air. Call Peter Gordon at Indoor Air Professionals, 585-427-8020, extension 303. Again, 585-427-8020, extension 303, or visit indoorairpro.com. You will not regret it. Mike, do you have anything planned for this weekend, Memorial Day weekend?
Well, yeah, like a lot of folks in our area, Joanna, I'll be in the yard.
You're in the yard every week.
I know.
I'm going to come by and check to make sure. I'm going to call Kelly and see if you're really in the yard.
You're going to go, right? I'm not just pretending, but what Memorial Day traditionally, that's when we feel we can put the plants out, the flowers out without fear of a frost. So be spending some time doing that, and we'll get together with family and do some barbecue and just enjoy some warmer weather. It is nice to have some warmer weather.
Absolutely. And speaking of flowers, guess what? Next Saturday is June 1st, and we have a special show planned right in some beautiful flowers out at Sarah's Garden and Nursery in Brockport, New York. And again, it's next Saturday. It'll be from 12 to 1. We'll be doing the show live there at Sarah's Garden. And if you haven't been there, you have to check it out. It's absolutely stunning. She has all these beautiful flowers that are, on display, and she has special display gardens in the back with all kinds of really interesting design. So I promise you'll be inspired, and I hope that someone will come by and say hi to us next week at Sarah's Garden and Nursery Center.
Yeah, and those are always fun. Those remotes. It's fun to meet the listeners and it's not too late just because this weekend's Memorial Day weekend. You can still plant flowers next weekend too. So come on out.
Oh, big time. Yeah. And it's a great time to go because I think it gets a little busy sometimes on other weekends.
True.
Yeah. And there's no time better to go than this time of year. And again, it's inspiring to see the things she has out there. So I hope you've been inspired, Mike.
Absolutely. I was very much inspired by Melissa's talk about travel and kind of got the travel bug going again. And of course, Lindsay's a font of knowledge. Medicare is such a complicated area. And I know I get questions from clients all the time. And so it's great to have Lindsay as a resource.
Absolutely. And we'd love having her come back because she always reminds us of things. Or, today I learned a few more things that I wasn't thinking about, to share with the listeners, especially about the prescriptions. That's big stuff. So people spend a lot of money on those things. And I wanted to say there's something special coming up this week. But before I do that, is there anything else you want to mention?
Just, have a great weekend, everyone. Be safe, have fun, but be safe and be well and be kind.
Thank you, Mike, and thanks for reminding us of that every week. And folks, if you lived around here in the 60s or 70s, you'll remember Jack Palvino's name. I hear so many fond stories, as well as the rest of my family does, about how wonderful my father-in-law was, and some funny stories and some really inspiring stories from folks over the years that I've been involved in their family. So here's the deal. It's Jack's birthday this coming week, and I thought it would be fun to invite listeners to send him wishes or memories through the contact page on the Seniors Rock website. I'll be sure he gets every message, and I promise we won't use your information to send you emails or any of that jazz. I just really want to wish him a happy birthday and let him know folks haven't forgotten about him, because he's a special guy. And, he's in the New York State Music Hall of Fame, Mike, and he's also in the Rochester Hall of Fame. And, he's seen people that are, we'll never see again, like Jimi Hendrix and the Beatles and, some of the biggest stars that ever sang. And it's inspiring. His office is crazy. It's like a museum of pictures. So wish Jack a happy birthday. Send some messages through the seniorsrockradio.com website, and we'll be sure he gets those. Now, I hope he's not listening, because I want to make it a surprise. And next Saturday, again, don't forget that we are going to be in person at Sarah's Garden Nursery Center in Brockport. And I want to thank personally again Melissa from AAA and for inspiring us all to travel, and for what Lindsay does for everybody on a daily basis. I mean, she makes your life easier, and that's inspiring in itself, because she cares, and so do we. And we hope you've been inspired today. Fitz, thank you for sharing your stories about Memorial Day and for having us here in the studio. And we hope you've been inspired today, too, and that you can get support and guidance to make important Medicare decisions or to take a trip. And if you've been wanting to do that, do it. We've got the folks here to help you. Go to the website. You'll see what you need to see, and go to Facebook. Like us on the Facebook page. That's terrific. And whatever it is, we're glad to be with you every Saturday to learn along with you. Mike and I learn too. And to keep reminding everybody that seniors rock.